Welcome to the third part of ordering of sentences. It is also at times referred to as parajumbles or jumbled sentences. In the previous videos, we understood that we will be given a paragraph where the sentences are jumbled. They are not in an order. However, each sentence will give us a clue. Using these clues, we should be able to arrange them in an order to form a coherent paragraphs. We also went through few of the strategies that we follow to be able to arrive at forming a coherent paragraph. One of the first things that we do when we come across a parajumble question is to identify an independent sentence. An independent sentence is a sentence which does not need any sentence to support the statement made in the independent sentence. The second strategy that we looked into was forming mandatory pairs. We form several mandatory pairs. As the word suggests, these pairing, they need to be together compulsorily. Few of the mandatory pairs that we spoke about in our session was framing general and specific sentences together, noun followed by pronoun, full form followed by an abbreviation, a question followed by an answer, problem followed by a solution, statement followed by an example, support signal words followed by contradictory words. We need to take care that these form a pair. A pair needs to be with each other, one after another always. That's why they are referred to as mandatory pairs. We have mainly two kinds of questions that we come across in parajumbles. One is called a floating jumble, another is called a rooted jumble. We'll take up examples on each of these kind of jumbled questions and solve them to understand how we can apply the strategies. Here is a floating jumble. Kindly pause the video to be able to arrive at an answer of your own. The answer for this question is 2. Here, if we look at the sentences, you will come across A. Roger Federer is the greatest tennis player of all time. This is a general statement made. This is also an independent statement. Here, we are introducing the concept, the logic that we are going to discuss in this paragraph. Roger Federer is the greatest tennis player. He does not need any supporting statement also. As such, we begin our paragraph with the sentence A. We need to determine which will be the sentence that follows after, and we have decided that it should be C. The reason being, the mandatory pairing applied here is noun followed by a pronoun. Roger Federer is a proper noun. He is a pronoun that is appropriate to use after Roger Federer. You can see that there is also pronoun used in sentence B, sentence D, sentence E and sentence F. However, his is a possessive pronoun which is not right to be used immediately after sentence A. Sentence E, however, begins with a contradictory signal word but, and that makes no sense to be in the second position. With all things considered, C is the best choice to be in the second position. The next in the sequence will be sentence D. It is actually explaining sentence C. Sentence C says, what is the quality about Roger Federer? So from general, we are getting into specific. Ambidextrous is a word that is explained in sentence D. Ambidextrous. Ambi is a word that means to. Dexterity is the way you can use your hands. You can refer our videos on vocabulary building for more information on such words. Sentence D is giving us an explanation what he can do, how well he can play with both his hands. Sentence E, the one that follows sentence D in the sequence, further explains what he can and he cannot do in his right hand. There is also another pairing that we note here. In sentence D, we use the word as well as. As well as is a support signal word, whereas but is a contradictory signal word. Mandatory pairing says that support signal words appear first. Immediately following them will be contradictory signal words. As such, we have also paired sentence D with sentence E. There are various mandatory pairings that we have applied to arrive at our answer here. Let's take another example. This is also a floating jumble. Here, you will see that sentences are not in an order and we need to arrange them to form a coherent paragraph. Kindly pause your video to be able to arrive at an answer on your own. The answer for this question is 3. We decide sentence E should be the first sentence in the paragraph. It talks about what the paragraph is all about. It's an independent sentence. It is giving us the logic that gets discussed in the paragraph. King Midas was a very greedy king, followed by getting into the specifics of how greedy he was. Sentence B is the one that tells us, gives us more information on how greedy he was. Even though he was very rich, he always craved for more and more. Following that will be sentence D. One day he called his court magician and commanded. Sentence F is a continuation from sentence D. In sentence D, the king calls the magician and commands something, and in sentence F, the magician replies to the king. And as such, we have arrived at option 3 as our answer. You will note that sentence F and sentence A is a statement made by the magician. So you can pair sentence F and sentence A also. It is a dialogue that is exchanged between the king and the court magician. Let's take another example here. Kindly pause your video to be able to arrive at an answer on your own. The answer for this question will be D. You will note when you go through these sentences that C is the opening statement or the independent statement for this paragraph. It is the logic that gets discussed in this paragraph. It is talking about Open University courses. Everything else in the paragraph is talking about what Open University courses offer or does. As such, we can decide C to be the first sentence in the sequence. Following that will be sentence B. Sentence C reads as Open University courses use networking to different degrees. Sentence B elaborates on what gets used. It says, at the simplest level, some courses, especially in curriculum areas where student access to IT is not high, offer optional online tutoring with a tutor. So it is telling us what are the different things that Open University courses do. Following that will be sentence A. Now, when this kind of an offer is done, where optional online tutoring with tutor is offered to students, what do students do? We connect sentence B with sentence A. Okay, it tells us what students are asked to do under this kind of a course. Students may be required to work collaboratively in small groups and submit joint assignments. So as such, we pair sentence B with sentence A. Following that will be sentence D. It says, in addition. So in addition to the course that is already done, what other things does the Open University course offer? So it offers extra course resources on course website. And we concluded with sentence E, where access to high tutoring is offered online and face-to-face tutorials are much reduced. As such, we arrive at our answer to be option D. Please note that we have applied various mandatory pairings to arrive at the answer.